Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, um, today I'm going to be telling you about, be following up from the other videos and stuff I've been posting. So I'm going to be giving you some names. I'm going to tell you where I'm from. I know a lot of you have been asking, and I've talked to you some privately, but today everybody's going to know. I'm also going to put this video on my Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page, because it's time for the things that are being done in the dark, time to bring them to light. And here, obviously, you know that the most important thing is this is not a bash session. The people that I'm going to be speaking about, it has to be spoken about. I've tried to do it quietly for a while, but well, you know, when that happens, people, they insult your intelligence, they mistake your kindness for weakness. So please understand, in the comment section, Facebook or YouTube, I don't want any negativity. I'm hoping to educate some people here and teach some people a bigger picture from everything that I went through, things I've learned. This is to help people on many different levels. This is not a bash session, so please delete your comments. If you are on Facebook, I'm going to ask that if you're going through anything in the courts, we can help you. I need you to not put anything publicly in the comment section. I need you to inbox me privately, especially if you have an ongoing case in court right now, family court, especially divorce. I want to know who your lawyers are, who the law guardian are, and I'm going to say law guardian, I'm going to refer to AFC. It stands for Attorney for the Child. So what I want you to do is anything past, present, or future cases coming up, especially in family court in Onondaga County, Syracuse, New York, especially. I want you to hit my inbox with who I are. I've got a bunch of people right now. We have a bunch of people right now that have been going to court, and we've been educating them and teaching them some things. So these certain things can't happen. What's been going on is for years, for a long time, is the lawyers, attorneys, they make deals in the hallway. They're called, lawyers only, and they go in the hallway or they go in the side room there. And there's a reason why they do that. The reason being is, number one, so you can't hear what they're saying. And number two, it's off the record and the judge can't hear what they're saying. That being said, there shouldn't be no attorneys only meetings. It's an opportunity for them to hide things from the judge and from you and your family. So that being said, the videos that I've posted and we've discussed, the attorney's name, Richard, you guys heard that. His last name is Bombardo. Richard Bombardo. He's the attorney that lied, and all you've heard in all those, most of those videos. The other attorney that you heard me talking to throughout some of the clips, his name is Anthony Germano. Anthony Germano is the one that has done the adoption for my daughter Isabella, that we found out that it was not done legally, and this is part of the reason why all these things are happening and going on. So that being said, two of the attorneys, Richard Bombardo was the attorney that you heard me talking about, and if you're on Facebook, you also saw my posts, the clips of all the videos. That was Richard Bombardo. Anthony Germano was my ex-wife's attorney who did the adoption for my daughter Isabella before she was born. I'm coming to find out it's not an adoption, and this is why I've been running into the problems with the other attorneys. But Syracuse, New York, any problems with any attorneys, especially law guardians, AFCs, Attorney for the Child, I want to know if you've especially came across Anthony Germano or Arlene Bradshaw especially. They both have played a huge part in this, and Anthony Germano's wife also works for CPS. I've had numerous people come to me with problems they've been threatened to have their kids taken away. They were threatened by law guardians, and some have even had their children taken away. as when Anthony Germano was the law guardian, and they had no idea that his wife works for CPS. There's a lot of other things we'll get into, but we're going to start there. Starting with the courts haven't been recognizing that Isabella is not my daughter. I've sent this to the courts, and I believe that, is my knowledge right now, I believe that Judge Julie Cecil has not been forwarded the proper evidence and emails. I believe she doesn't know what's going on because the lawyers only hallway deals. I'm representing myself, so obviously I'm not involved in those lawyer onlys. And I had a lawyer appointed to me that I never applied for, that I wasn't approved for income-wise, and they weren't listening to my to what I had to say because the other attorneys had not seen the evidence. So now what I've been doing the past few days is sending evidence to the attorneys and to the court clerk, Sarah Langdon, court attorney rather, I apologize. She's the court attorney for Judge Julie Cecil. In the past, I know Richard Bombardo has threatened me in the hallway saying that the judge is going to take the kids away from you if you don't come to an agreement. And then when I did come to an agreement, things he told me lied. Obviously, you guys have saw some of the videos. So I've been going through this for just about 2 years now, going on 2 years. In 2000, this time in 2000, 2 years ago, I was filing for a divorce. And then, so we're started in 2022. We're in 2024, obviously, so we're just about 2 years deep into this. So getting back to the reason why they were taking Bella away from me at 10, 11 years old. She's apparently told Arlene Bradshaw, who's the AFC law guardian, that she doesn't want to, see me anymore because I'm not her biological father or what have you. But the real reason is because I'm going to show you. In 2017, September 2017, Anthony Germano, who was my ex-wife's attorney, we started paying him and consulting with him for an adoption. What I'm finding out Anthony did is he filed some court paperwork in the Supreme Court for leave to change name. So this right here is a petition that he filed to change name, request for judicial intervention, name change. And then you can see his handwriting there. This is going to be important. I don't know if it's backwards, but I'll have it in the comments and clips of it in the comments. And if you're on YouTube in the community center, and drop it in the comments below. So, and then here's the actual petition, Supreme Court. Looks like it's coming up backwards there, but I'm going to read it. Parts of it anyways. Here it says, the individual currently known as Isabella, and it states her prior last name before the adoption process. It says where she was born and personal information, which I'm not going to read. But basically, it is issued by New York State of Health. Department of Health is hereby authorized to assume the name and Isabella and my last name. So this is her to be able to change the name. So to my understanding, we were going through an adoption. In the rest of this paperwork, it clearly states there are no orders or other orders of paternity, acknowledgments of paternity concerning the subject child of this petition. So basically what they're saying is there's no other father, there's no acknowledgments of paternity or anything attached to this child or this case, which is a complete perjury. I had to, this was recently brought to my attention. And then, let's see here. I have not made, and there have been no previous applications made to change the child's name in this or any other court. Now, mind you, this is a Supreme Court statement. Where is that? Okay, so 2017, September of 2017, going through, the adoption process. And then number 23 of the sworn statement for Supreme Court. And all of these statements I'm going to be reading to you, they talk about, this is truthful, perjury. But it says, Michael Urbino currently has no legal relation or rights to Isabella. I'm sorry, will not give him legal rights to Isabella. Basically, and in this petition, she goes down and they say they want to change the name. And she goes in this petition, and I could read every one of them to you, but basically they break it down, my ex and Anthony Germano, and they say, I'll give you a couple of them. At the time our relationship began, the child who's subject to the petition, Isabella, was 1 year of age. Since being in our relationship, Michael has been the only father Isabella knows. During the last 5 years or so, our relationship has grown. Especially in the past 3 years, we have begun living together in a blended family. Michael does everything that a loving, caring father would do for his child. When Isabella is ill, he cares for her. He brings her for medical care. If she becomes ill at school, just as often as myself, more than often as myself, Michael will get the call from the school and go pick her up. If Isabella wakes during the night in fear, she calls for her father. Michael is immediately there in her room by her side to comfort her. When Isabella is hungry, she goes to her dad to prepare something to eat. And it's a whole petition of, for once, in one statement that I read, the truth about how much I love my daughter, that I'm legally finding out. I'm finding out that I have legally no rights to her because there wasn't an adoption was not done. It was a name change and some other fraudulent activities. So, 2018, 2017, and at the end it says, this petition was petition is true to her knowledge, blah 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 blah. It was also signed by her attorney. Remember, it's going to be important after Anthony Germano, and he notarized it on the 4th day of September 2017. Attached to this is Isabella's birth certificate, her original birth certificate with her original last name on it. And I'm going to show you part of that. The father part is blank. Right there, father, blank. So, in between mom's going to court dates, I remember going to one. They get the order signed, which is just the order granting to change the child's name. That was signed by Honorable Gregory Gilbert, who is a Supreme Court judge. Mom basically says that we don't want Isabella to have a different last name. Everybody else is we're getting married. We're all gonna have the same name. So that was the reason for the name. Well, I found out later that there is family court petitions that she does have a biological father, and there was DNA test done through the court, and Mr. Germano was aware of this. And we also have here, I found a New York, from family court, there was a petition made by mom for paternity on September 5th of 2017. The same day the Supreme Court petition was filed. Now, I'm pretty sure that's another court. I don't get that. I don't get that. But because in the other one, they said that there was no petitions made in any other courts and no paternity, etc. But I'll read a couple of these things. And this is a family court file on the same day, completely different court. And I believe this one, I read, it said that there was no petitions or anything in any other court. And actually, I have stamped here that was received in Supreme Court on September 5th, filed Onondaga County, September 5th, 2017, the county clerk's office. And on this family court petition right here, okay, I have received an Onondaga County Family Court, September 5th, 2017. So they were done on the same exact, they were filed on the same exact day. And they, it says that there was no petitions filed or anything in any other courts. Well, and there was no, biological father, and no one had claim to the child, and et cetera, et cetera. So what happened is Anthony Germano did a name change, and then he filed a petition, an Article 6 petition in family court. And it says on this one, I'm going to read just a couple of them. Number 6, upon information and belief, no individual has been adjudicated the father of Isabella in this court or any other courts, including Native American court, and no individual has signed an acknowledgement of paternity admitting paternity of this child. And in here, number 7, mom states, I recognize the respondent is not the biological father of Isabella. I want to be clear that I am not in any manner representing to the court that Michael Urbano, the respondent, is biologically related to the subject child. And she goes on in this one to state, however, I am asking the court to recognize and acknowledge the reality that the respondent is the only father the child has ever known, and make a ruling with that reality. She goes on to say how long we've been together for the past 5 years, and this is in 2017. Michael has done everything a loving, caring father would do for his own daughter. On a basic level, Michael, without question, provides monetary support and ensures that Isabella's basic needs are met. More importantly, through the respondent does all the things a father does for his daughter that cannot be qualified into a dollar amount or direct statute. When Isabella is hungry, Michael will find her something to eat, make her something to eat. When Isabella is sick, Michael cares for her, and assists bringing her to medical attention. When Isabella wakes in the middle of the night in fear of a dream or dark, her father, Michael, will rush into her room and her side when she calls for him. He comforts her and hugs her. Most importantly, Michael has made her know that he will not let anyone or anything hurt his daughter. You bet your ass. Whether she's legally my daughter or not, that's why I'm here. I'm also here for your daughters and your sons, because what you're going to see here needs to come to light, because past, present, this has been happening, not just to me. I'm not a victim here. This has all happened for me, this has not happened to me, because I'm taking this energy that's being thrown at me and all this stuff because I'm putting this public. I've been being harassed and tortured, and I've had my children taken away from me as these men have threatened on recordings. I have recordings I've submitted to the courts as well of them threatening this, exactly the things that are happening. So that being said, that line right there, most importantly, Michael has made her know that he will not let anyone or anything hurt his daughter. That is the truest statement that either one of these people have ever put on a court document. You're going to see there's a lot of lies in these, but that is the truest statement I'm probably going to read. For any of my children, for that matter, and for your children, this needs to come out, because Arlene Bradshaw's, Anthony Germano's, or Richard Bombardo's, they make these hallway deals, and they don't bring the evidence before the judge, and they try to trick you with legal tricks, and I've uncovered it all. I've untangled every web of lies. I've figured out every trick they've played, and I've been passing it on to the right people who need to see this stuff. So, and then I'm gonna go down to now number. Number 26. I am simply asking the court to recognize the definition and reality of paternity, or her being a father, both financial and emotional, reasonable for his child. He has also evolved. 27. Additionally, no other individual has signed an acknowledgement of paternity for the child. No previous application for relief requested has been made in this or any other court. Previous applications were made 5 years ago with this court and in Madison County, which were dismissed for failure for the petitioner to appear. I am not making an application for child support. So, again, in this petition that's done simultaneously on the same day, we have saying that there's no biological father, that there's no other court cases, no one signed acknowledgement of paternity, that there's no father, and I just want to now they're trying to paternity petition that. I never showed up to this court date. I never even knew this was going on. I thought adoption court dates were happening. But I'm finding all this stuff obviously way after the fact. But so I think they were doing both of these to see which one might work out first. Is how it looks, because they kind of contradict each other and say there's no other thing going on in another court. And we have the same attorney that signed his name to both. So we have a Supreme Court and a family court document that are not, there's not supposed to be. They say there's no other petition or anything going on in the other courtroom, and on the same day they were both filed, which I don't know how, well, two different courts, I guess. They were filed at two different courts. So then on it was filed in order 11/29/17. I get an order we got an order dismissal dated November 28th, 2017. So September, October. So a couple months later, for family court, a petition of Article 5 of the Family Court Act have been filed with this court on September 5th, 2017 for the following paternity. And the petitioner's attorney, Anthony, petitioner is my ex. The petitioner's attorney, my ex's attorney, Anthony L. Germano, Esquire, having submitted a written request to withdraw the petition. So 2 months later, he withdraws the petition, and I'm guessing that's because the other petition went through in Supreme Court, and he was allowed to change Isabella's name based on the petition that he put. So he didn't need this one anymore. Plan A or Plan B worked out, so he withdrew this petition. And it says ordered, mailed. And then one of the things here, the court assistant who signed this order, his name is Adolf something. It's kind of messy, but I'll put this one, his name in the comments too, right here. Adolf, court assistant. This is as clear as day Anthony Germano's signature. You're going to see he likes to sign and put other people's name on other documents as we carry on with this. But so this family court petition was dismissed. He withdrew it, and it was ordered dismissal. All in the unified court system, uploaded as it should. Let's see here. So on 6/14/2018, we go to Anthony Germano's office and we sign adoption papers. I signed them. My ex signed them, and Anthony Germano and his paralegal, Wendy Baker, which I have an email from her, that her name is Wendy Baker. Wendy Baker. Okay, Wendy Baker. But later there was a statement made in 2022 going through custody and divorce that rose some suspicion to me, and I recalled noticing this a while ago, and I looked into it a little bit, and I kind of just let it go. But Anthony Germano and his paralegal signed Karen Smith and Joseph Fraschetti. Karen Smith is, I don't even believe exists, and Joseph Fraschetti is his former partner, and as you'll see in some of the, I'll put the text message in there, he referred to him. If you're on Facebook, it's in the Anthony Germano post about the acknowledgement of fraudulent acknowledgement of paternity. And comment, like, subscribe, everybody. Unless you're local and you're going through a court case, please inbox me. So this is an acknowledgement of paternity. This usually you would sign if you weren't married and you went to, at the hospital and you had a child. You would sign an acknowledgement that this is my child. They don't normally typically do that when a child is 7 years old, I'm told. But twice here, it was signed, printed and name signed, witnessed, and then witness signature by Karen and Joseph, which those two people were not in the room that night. I have text messages and emails between both of them confirming that who they actually were. So that acknowledgement of paternity states that I am biologically her father. It's like I should have signed that in the hospital, before we were married, if I was the biological father. So what was done is he took a legitimate court order from Honorable Gregory Gilbert granting a name change for the child that had no father in any court, and it wasn't on the birth certificate, and there wasn't supposedly any DNA tests on file or no other. The family court file, there is most certainly a DNA test from her biological father, court dates, everything that Mr. Germano was obviously well aware of. That's why he didn't sign his own name to that. So what he did is he took the Honorable Gregory Gilbert's order, a legit name change, based on a heartfelt testimony or statement from mom and her attorney, Anthony Germano, and he took that order And then he took a fraudulent acknowledgement of paternity, knowing that I was not the biological father, knowing that all these other court cases were pending, knowing there was a biological father, takes this acknowledgement, he called it, which I'm not an attorney, I just, handed over money and signed, and has been a good father. He attaches this to Judge Gilbert's order, brings it to one of his connections, and text messages from Mr. Romano. Here, I'll read it. Gives me a little congrats. It's a girl emoji. And this is in June of 2018. By the way, congrats. I got the document in my right hand, and as long as we made no typos or anything, expect a new birth certificate in about 6 months. You will probably mail the signed acknowledgement before that. But she said it will be about 5-6 months until the new birth certificate. They are that much behind. And before that, he sends me a text message, and he just asked what hospital was Bella born at, because it has to go on the birth certificate. And I said, I think Kraus, but I'll ask Mom when she gets home. Excellent. I texted him back later on, and I said, St. Joe's, sorry, I forgot to hit send. No worries, thank you. Okay, getting the documents together. New birth certificate. I'm the father. Shows up, I'm the father. The local filing date was April 8th, 2011, shortly after her birth, and a few days after her birth. And then the date on it shows August 24th, 2018. So this is the updated version of the birth certificate. So what happened was, acknowledgement of paternity, fraudulently signed by him and his paralegal, Anthony Germano, and Wendy, brings it to vital statistics. From what another text message he said, another formal statement he made is that he brought it to vital statistics, and had me added as the father, right there, on the birth certificate. Now, if you remember, Judge Gilbert's he asked if there was any acknowledgement of paternity, any, father. It said clearly in there that I am not. It's not to. It says right in there that I have no legal rights to her. So, fraudulently doing that gave me legally made Isabella my daughter until 2022, when we started going through a divorce and child custody battle. Fast forward to 2022, and I have here one of the many court petitions I was served with that are not in the system. That's another thing. You have to check your, that's why we're helping people. We are, it's in the matter of an Article 5 proceeding. It's an order to vacate acknowledgement of paternity. So this order was dated July 25th, 2022. In August 2022, we had to go before Judge Julie Serio. In Mom's petition, mind you, we're split up and getting ready for a divorce and going through custody, and the respondent acknowledged of parentage concerning Isabella, and she puts her old and new last name, child born out of wedlock, that's like date, and then she gives her biological father's name and calls him the petitioner. A copy of acknowledgement of parentage is attached. Petitioner must black out. So, okay, so